What's up, gang? Dead Girl here. Today, we're heading out on the road. We're heading through Geneva, Florida, which is originally a lot of farm country. There is a cemetery that we have not checked out here. It's called the Geneva Cemetery. I believe it was built in 1886, if I'm not mistaken. It's right off of Cemetery Road, appropriately named. So we're going to head on over there and check this place out. Come with us. There it is, you guys. We made it. We're here at the Geneva Cemetery. Let's head on out, park this car, and do some exploring. All right, everybody, we made it to the Geneva Cemetery. This place was established in 1880. It has been designated a historical site, and it is open from sunrise to sunset. They also offer some night tours by lantern light. Now, it's not necessarily a ghost tour or anything spooky, but the nighttime tours that they do offer do talk about the history of the town. They talk about the history of Florida. Very, very informative. It's something that I suggest you take if you want to do something unique. But again, it's nothing spooky or haunted. We just wanted to come out and show you guys this beautiful cemetery. And just to show you guys, when you first walk into the cemetery, they have a plaque dedicated to every military veteran of Geneva, Florida. This is beautiful. So we started to wander through the cemetery a little bit, and we came across the children's section. As you can tell from looking at the fence, it is extremely old. It wouldn't surprise me if this was done, you know, like 100 years ago maybe. I mean, it's very old. The cemetery is very well maintained. It has to be. They actually fenced it in not too long ago. There were folks that were driving through here chasing animals and hunting, and they actually had to put up fencing around it to keep people out of the cemetery itself. And they've maintained it very well since those earlier years. Some beautiful Spanish moss.
Families actually buried in here, the Caldwells and the Lettenmayers, because those dates say 1831, 1854, 1886, and then the rest are babies. So
wow.
I wonder if this is all one big family or two families.
It could be. Now, there's one right there, 1980. That's my birth year, 6 months old.
Mine is a 73.
Kids' graves are always very hard because, of course, they never got their chance at life to enjoy or know anything, really. So it's tough when we come to the kids' portion of the cemeteries. But just to kind of do a quick little pan here to show you guys, we're down towards the back of the cemetery here. We're going to go back a little bit further. JD was doing some research for us, and you were saying that there were, what, 17 Confederate soldiers buried here?
17 Confederate, I believe. Put me on the spot.
There was one gentleman from the north, soldier, that's buried in the cemetery as well.
He's a Union soldier. He was Confederate, but he went Union, I believe.
Okay, he's flip-flopped. So yeah, just very, very beautiful, very peaceful. The drive out here is very quiet, very peaceful as well. It takes you by a lot of farmland. Like I said, Geneva is a farming community. It's very rural. It's a very beautiful land. And I apologize for the puppy in the background. Evidently, he is not happy that we are here, and he's got to live in a neighboring house since he's been going nuts since we got here. Let's head back towards the back and take a look back there. All right, so we've made it to the back of the cemetery. There are some veteran graves here. We've got some vets from the Korean War, from World War II that have been laid to rest back here at the beautiful Geneva Cemetery. We've also got some Vietnam War vets, so lots of newer looking headstones. It's a good mix between a lot of very, very old, as you can see in the back there. These ones are some very old gravestones. Even though it's very well maintained, I'm not sure, what visitors they get If any, they've got some smaller markers here. Nothing super grandiose. These are some of the older headstones back here in the Geneva Cemetery. Very beautiful, very peaceful, and very still for the most part. Now, the cemetery wasn't always known as the Geneva Cemetery. It was originally called the Lake Harney Cemetery and was later renamed. Also, after doing a little bit more research, we did find out that there is a Abraham Lincoln conspirator buried somewhere in this cemetery. So he was the ones that conspired against Abraham Lincoln all those years ago. Like I said, this area is full and rich of history. It's definitely a very, very pretty cemetery, very old. And it's nice just to come out and visit and pay respects. So yeah. I wanted to show you guys, just take a minute and show you guys this tree that has not quite fallen to the ground, but the way that the branches have grown down and over some of these tombstones here at the cemetery in Geneva. Can't quite tell if it's, some of it's laying on the ground, but yeah, very, very interesting to see the way that this tree has come to lay here. It's a beautiful, well-maintained cemetery. It makes me happy to see that this place has not been forgotten, that they've taken very good care of this place as far as, maintenance goes and upkeep, maintaining the lawn. And many years ago, like I told you guys earlier, there were people hunting through this area and they would knock over tombstones and wreak havoc basically in the cemetery, and they had finally gotten it fenced in and made it so that that doesn't happen anymore, which is fantastic because I understand the thrill of the hunt, but not quite through a cemetery. Oh, yeah. Give you guys one quick pan before we head out the Geneva Cemetery. So here we found the grave of Henry Baker.
And a story about it's kind of interesting. Henry Baker was actually enlisted as a private in Company D, 19th Virginia Volunteer Infantry Regiment at Howardsville, Virginia. He was captured at Hatcher's Run, Virginia, and taken to Old Capitol Prison in Washington, D.C., where he then actually took the oath of allegiance to the Union and was released near Sandusky, Ohio.
Oh, wow. So yeah, there's a lot of history in this cemetery. This was 1840 to 1926. Wow. Now, something interesting to note, although this section over here with the fencing does look like it's more of a children's cemetery or children's plot area, there are child graves strewn throughout the cemetery, and there are a lot of them. And as we're walking through, we came upon a newer one, quite a few newer ones actually, of children or young adults who died too young. And there's a very heavy feeling of sadness in this area as you walk through the cemetery. It's so still. There's a little bit of wind. Yeah, just beautifully peaceful. As we start to make our way back towards the front, towards the car, we came across this headstone, and as we're standing here looking at it, it looks like there's the Virgin Mother Mary on the inside, but there's a very strong scent emanating from this area, and it smells like baby powder. Yeah. It's very heavy, very, very strong. So yeah, I don't really think I'll be able to zoom in to show you guys on the inside there. But it's an absolutely Beautiful stone. Beautiful little house. There's some Asian influence on it. The tombstone itself is in Spanish, which is always interesting. But yeah, that really, really heavy scent of baby powder is right here in this area. And it's been the only spot in this cemetery that we've noticed anything sensory-wise. So yeah, just wanted to share that with you guys before we head out. Alright gang, so that's going to do it for our visit to Geneva, Florida, and the Geneva Cemetery. Very, very pretty, very peaceful, very quiet. No one was out here. It was just us. It was kind of nice to be able to stroll through and take in some of the history and visit some of the dead who may not get visitors very often. Definitely enjoyed our trip out here, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you guys have been out here, did you enjoy your trip? Until next time, guys, keep it spooky.